for 4:05. This is an important message from the Mine Safety and Health Administration. Mining fatalities, accidents, and injuries are preventable. Staying alert and focused keeps you safe. Take time, save lives. For more resources, visit MSHA.gov.
Are you ready to be a part of the conversation that will help shape our nation's future? Get ready to join us for the Left Coast Forum, Saturday, October 25th at LA Trade Tech, where progressive voices will come together to tackle the issues that matter most to working families across Los Angeles and beyond. From economic justice to climate action, from healthcare to housing, we're bringing together the brightest minds and most passionate advocates for real solutions and real change. With workshops, 2 major keynote addresses, and a closing reception with great music and great food. It's the Left Coast Forum, where your voice matters and your ideas take action.
Andy.
Saturday, October 25th
Who that?
at LA Trade Tech.
Man.
By KBLA Talk 1580 and the LA Progressive. The future won't wait, and neither should you. Mark your calendar now to be there and be heard. Stay tuned to KBLA Talk 1580 for more details.
Hey, so I'm calling your show, 'cause I need to know. Show me which way to go before I throw my man out the door.
Okay, hold on a second, Keisha. Just let me ask Ronald exactly what's going on, because it takes 2 to tango, and I need to hear his side of the story.
So she's driving me insane, got stress heavy on my brain. She keeps playing silly games, and I'm about to bring the pain. We seem to fuss and fight.
Everybody, please hit the like button so we can get into the algorithm. Please, please, please like it. Like it, like it, like it.
See the light, see the light.
Thank you, James. Thank you, James.
So what we fundamentally have here is that economics is the scientific study of decision making. Why? Because making a decision means dealing with the problem of scarcity. What does scarcity mean? Okay, so scarcity, I got some notes here. Let me look on here. I want to make sure I don't mess you up in the head. So here's the idea in scarcity. The idea in scarcity is that people, individuals, organizations, and societies, they have goals. They have goals. You have goals, things you want to accomplish, things that you want, things that you think you need. Businesses have things that they want or need. Society has things that they want or need. And those goals have no limit at all. So our goals are unlimited. The goals that you have for your life are unlimited. Maybe you have a goal to buy a $50,000 car. Why buy a $50,000 car when you buy a $60,000 car? Why limit it at $50,000? If you can have anything you want, everything that you want, how long would that list be? Well, I promise you, you'd probably run out of time before you ran out things that you could put on that list of things that you want, goals that you have. And so our goals, okay, or our wants, let's put down here, our wants or our needs, the things that we want to accomplish or have for ourselves, they are unlimited, which means they are much larger than the resources that we have, or what we call factors. They are greater than the resources, but we call them factors in economics. The resources or factors that are used to provide those goals or those wants. Okay, so for example, let's say that I want to eat lots and lots of pizza. I have a goal. I want to eat 1,000 slices of pizza. Why do I want to eat 1,000 slices of pizza? Because pizza is awesome. Well, to me it is. It's delicious. So when I take that first bite of pizza, it tastes so good that I want to experience that yumminess of pizza in perpetuity. I want to constantly be experiencing it. I want to be experiencing it all day long, every day, all the time. The problem is that my stomach and my body cannot handle eating pizza all the time. At some point or another, I have to stop eating pizza because...
Come on, Professor Ryan. Apply it to relationships. Can your spirit handle all the happiness you want, you desire? Many of you guys feel like you deserve the world. But if you got the world, could you handle it? Would it be fulfilling, or would there be diminished returns after a little while? Oh, Lord, Zoe Williams, you thought that I wasn't thinking about y'all during my little weekend? Nah, I'm back up in here, ready to keep this conversation going. Tonight's topic, spousanomics, or relational economics. An intriguing look into the economics of intimate relationship. Not the money spent, but the decisions made. See, most people don't understand. You don't look at the scarcity in your partner. That's a human being, a spirit. They are scarce. Do you understand? Right? They're unique. They're rare. They're scarce by default. Right? But if you're just looking at them from the perspective of them being a resource to your unhealed wounds or a resource to your fear, they are responsible for bringing peace and calmness into your life because you haven't mastered internal peace. Oh my goodness. Are their resources infinite? Because at some point, this is what they mean by relationship is work. At some point, y'all gonna hit a rough patch. And who you are in that rough patch is who you've always been. 1-800-920-1580. Let's get it. Love today seems to be a black market hybrid of Wall Street and Woodstock. A fevered collision of spreadsheets and soul chants and toxic positivity. Oh, we were made for each other. We love each other. This is all good. But you don't know how to keep it all good when it's all bad. Oh, Lord, you don't know how to get it back. Right? After rupture, you don't know how to come back to repair. Let's talk about it. We recite vows of oneness while secretly running balance sheets of affection, attention, and chores. The result is a psycho-spiritual, psychic Ponzi scheme in which the metaphysical promise of union is collateralized by the nervous system's terror of loss. Spousanomics drags this double ledger into daylight, exposing how most romance is not really romance at all, but a shadow economy of unresolved trauma. The transactional bazaar. In the transactional market, intimacy functions like a rigged exchange. Partners price one another's labor, emotional or domestic, while pretending the currency is love, true love. The anxious partner prints limitless resources until affection inflates a junk market. The avoidant partner raises the emotional interest rates, hoarding privacy to keep their value scarce. Kahneman maps the cognitive bias. Oh my goodness. Babette Rothschild names the trauma bond. Patrick Carn traces the derivatives of shame. Krishnamurti warns that calculation is fear in a tuxedo. And Dr. David R. Hawkins calibrates this energy as the low-frequency gravity of desire. Here, every I love you carries a hidden bid-ask spread. What will you give me for my next ounce of warmth, of care, of consideration, of grace, of forgiveness? What will you exchange for that? This market cannot equilibrate because the commodity, attention, is generated by a finite nervous system, but desired by an infinite ego. Loss aversion turns a micro conflict into a market crash. The integrity ledger bleeds red when the outer ledger, sex, gifts, status, shows profit. A decade of this type of scarcity loop is not character building. Right? It is non-ergodic ruin. Lost years that no enlightenment can refinance. Yet, there exists a parallel economy, almost unthinkable to the transactional mind, the conscious relationship economy. Here, two individuated beings, or at least beings that have been on the path, that are embracing individuation, have traversed Jung's path of shadow integration, self-realization, and the long apprenticeship of solitude, meet not to trade deficits, but to witness wholeness within each other. Their union is not an IPO of unresolved wounds, but a joint venture of awakened self-sovereignty. In this field, supply and demand collapses because neither partner bargains for worth. Boundaries remain intact, but they function like healthy market regulations, not weapons of scarcity. Attention ceases to behave as hard currency and begins to resemble light, inexhaustible, non-local, impossible to hoard. Repair is not a penalty clause, but a sacrament. They keep ledgers only to honor clarity, then burn them in the fire of presence. The conscious relationship is not a sentimental utopia. It is a disciplined spiritual economy where every transaction is also a type of meditation. Each partner brings a diversified portfolio of selfhood, purpose, friendships, inner silence, so the bond never carries the reckless leverage of "you complete me." Instead of moral hazard, there is radical transparency. Instead of sunk cost worship, there is quarterly sunk cost amnesty. Both partners re-choose freely, knowing exit is always possible, and therefore consent remains pure. This contrast, I know, is explosive. in the transactional bazaar of intimate relationships. Forgiveness without reform is a subsidy. Sex is illicit monetary policy. Kindness without enforcement invites moral hazard. In the conscious counter economy, generosity multiplies value precisely because it seeks no return. One system drains life to maintain the illusion of control. The other expands life by surrendering control altogether. What does your relationship economy look like? Did you choose for security? And because you chose for security, are you paying a high APR on a opportunity cost that you couldn't afford to pay by missing who you should have been with? 1-800-920-1580. Spousanomics is not a guide to better bargaining. It is a call to spiritual arbitrage. Use the market tools. Relational NPV. Right? Sharp of love, attention, budgets. Only long enough to expose manipulation. Then torch the spreadsheet. And enter the non-dual economy where love is not priced, but practiced, but embodied, but projected from an internal source outward. Here, Carl Jung foresaw two actualized individuals meet not to merge into one, but to stand side by side as conscious equals, each whole, each free, a sovereign treasury of the infinite. The ultimate prophet is paradox. When you stop trading for love, oh, I'm gonna act right because you take care of me. That's a user. Can we talk about it? Can we get into it? The ultimate prophet is paradox. When you stop trading for love, you discover a surplus that cannot be spent and a wealth that no market, human or divine, can ever collapse. The voice of reason, we about to get into it. What are the spousanomics of your intimate relationship? The ledger of love. Why your heart runs a shadow balance sheet. When we come forward, the national discussion begins.
The reasons that we're here, the reasons that
Yo, we on? I need y'all to get on the phone. Everybody hit that like button. Is a whole angel investor, which is crazy. I need y'all to get on the phone. Let's talk. 34 people, only 22 likes. If you like the setup, if the setup is making sense, then hit the like button. It's free to do so. Please support by hitting the like button, okay? 34 people, 23 likes. Whoever hit that last like, we appreciate it. And I think we got one super chat in here. Whoever hit the super chat, please say your name so I can shout you out. Nothing but love, nothing but love, nothing but love. Let me ask you, does this make sense? Does this make sense? Faith around and find out. That's a topic. I know my people love me. I know y'all love me, and y'all gonna say it's a good setup. I want to hear from people that are just in here. I know y'all love me. And I know you wouldn't lie to me, so I know you telling me the truth, but y'all family. And by default, y'all a little biased. I want to hear from the folks that are watching that don't really be talking. What do you guys think about tonight's topic? Did the setup make sense? What up, what uppers? Suge Mac 510, what up, what up, what up? When people find out what faith really is, they will crash out, true? I know you would tell me. Carbon Focus, get to the phone lines, 1-800-920-1580. Get to your phone lines. I want to talk to you guys. I want to talk to you about your relationship economics. Let's get to it. Everybody hit the like button. We got 8 more people. I'm staying on point. We miss you. Glad you're back. Oh, I've done a bad topic before now. $39 and $28. Let's get $28 up to $39. We miss having you here. Here we go.
He sells his catch at the local market. He knows that he can sell only fresh fish, so he throws the bad ones away, regardless of the time it takes him to find, catch, and clean the fish. Jimmy knows that if he were to sell spoiled goods, his customers would not return. So instead of crying over stale fish, he considers them as sunk costs and sells what customers actually want. In his free time, Jimmy isn't that rational. Unlike fish that don't go to the movies, Jimmy does. He buys himself a ticket for the afternoon show. But it turns out that a few hours before the film starts, his friends want to meet up to play football, Jimmy's favorite sport. Since he has already spent money on the ticket, he declines the invitation. According to sunk costs theory, he shouldn't have. The money he spent on the ticket is already gone, and he won't get it back by watching the movie. What matters is that he has a good time. Jimmy falls for the so-called sunk cost fallacy, the strong natural fear of losing what we already own, and the tendency of our brain to treasure all the things we possess. A more famous example of the fallacy is the Concorde, the supersonic passenger plane. Building the aircraft proved to be very difficult and expensive, but instead of shutting down the project, the British and French governments continued funding it, even though they knew the aircraft would not have any economic benefit. They argued that they had invested too much to give up. To test the sunk cost fallacy, economists Hal Arks and Catherine Bloomer came up with an experiment using theatre season tickets. The regular price for the season was $15, but some people were randomly given discounts of either $7 or $2. It turned out that the people who had paid the regular price attended more plays than those who received a discount. Interesting.
Listen. Yes. Yes. We're having an economics class here. People misinterpret economics. They think it's about money. No, it's about decisions. You are deciding, right, the best course of action that will bring you satisfaction, right? Listen, do you know how dangerous it is to have your wounds make these decisions? Do you know that? Do you know how dangerous it is to have your unhealed wounds make the decisions? In the spiritual realm, which is the realm of relating, the basic concepts, right, of economics don't apply. They simply don't. They apply at the social level, right? We're going to merge our monies. You work there, you work here. We're going to merge our monies, right? We're going to have a central bank account for us, and then we're going to have our own separate personal bank accounts, right? Do you get what I'm saying? All of like, people don't realize how much economics affects their relationships. But on the spirit side, how does a person who is worldly, highly educated, has everything anybody could ever want, the best education, the best career, known, revered, and respected, but internally disheveled, broken, impoverished? What would that relationship look like? That's why when people say, what are you bringing to the table? I say, what are you bringing to the table that we can't see? I can see your degree. I can see your car. I know where you work. What are you bringing to the table that we can't see? The ledger of love. While your heart runs a shadow balance sheet. The psychological insight here. Attachment theory shows that anxious and avoidant partners unconsciously track emotional credits, rewarding or punishing affection. Your philosophical insight. Krishnamurti warned that calculation is fear disguised as order. Your psychiatric insight. Trauma survivors often rely on hypervigilant accounting to avoid abandonment. Your economic insight. Behavioral economics. Behavioral economists call this mental accounting, where every smile or silence is priced like a volatile asset. This is happening in intimate relationships. When we come forward, the phone lines are percolating. I know you guys want to talk. I'm going to get you in here. Let's get it. Yo, we still 10 likes off. We still 10 likes off. I don't know why. Can we get those likes? Please hit the like button. And I would like for some of you guys to call in. My typos are embarrassing today, guys. My bad. Hey, who saw today's Mansions episode? With me, Coach Baruti, and of course, the incomparable Jeff Brown. Who saw us today? Who enjoyed today's show? Was it good? Did y'all like the return of Mansions? The illest. Was in the middle of it, then I seen this. Got you. Yeah, man. I just wanted to have a convo with some folk. How's everybody doing today on this Monday? I was able to catch part of it. It was good to see Jeff Brown again. Yes, it was. I'm all right. If you're asking me, how am I? Sharita, what up? Maintaining God is good. Zotholomew, thankful to be alive on this Monday. How is it? How is the fam? So we good. We are good. And don't be afraid to call in. This is a national show. Don't be afraid to call in. Let's talk. I'm at my best when we can talk. I don't want to just talk at you. I want to talk with you. All right? One 1-800-920-1580. Moderators, assemble. Please put the number in the chat. We got 2 minutes before this break is over. We finally met equilibrium. That's what the market is. When the market is equal goods and services versus equal output, equilibrium. 37 people, 37 likes. World Wounded Entertainment, WW. Wound VU? Y'all wildin'. And don't be afraid. Hit the like button, hit the share button, super chat, cash app, whatever you guys want to do.
I want you to create a SWOT analysis for your life. Here's why. I use SWOT analysis for my clients to assess their business based off their competitors within the marketplace. I also think that a SWOT analysis is really great on a personal level. What I want you to do is grab a piece of paper, or you can grab a dry erase board like I did, and I want you to write your vision statement at the top of that paper. From there, create this little graph and write strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. What your strengths are the things that comes natural to you. It could be your purpose. What do people say about you that are positives about yourself? Your weaknesses, that's just an area that you can improve on. So for instance, if your vision statement is to be a great public speaker, well maybe the weakness is you hate public speaking. Don't worry about that being a weakness or a struggle point, because that can be an opportunity for you. If you know where you're weak at, you know the areas that you can improve. You can find a coach to work with or get in a part of a public speaking course so you can become better.
Interesting. I love that. You know, some old internal auditing. The voice of reason. And KBLA. Boy, we like Shaq and Kobe together now. I'm Kobe, though. Oh, the voice of reason on KBLA Talk 1580. You guys already know what it is. Tonight's topic is straight flames. The inflation of intimacy. How overgiving devalues desire. It's a heavy topic tonight. Spousanomics. Ooh, Lord. Spousanomics. Here's your psychological insight here. Excessive reassurance creates affection inflation. Inflation happens in the market when the market has too many dollars. The market will get more and more dollars when the value of it goes down. So then the market gets flooded with dollars, which pushes inflation even higher. You need more dollars to buy the same products. Yikes. Too much affection? Whew. Creates affection inflation, where each loving act buys less emotional stability. Your philosophical insight. Desire, as Dr. David R. Hawkins notes, vibrates at a frequency that traps consciousness in craving. Your psychiatric insight. Codependency research shows that chronic overfunctioning activates stress circuits that mimic addiction. And then finally, your economic insight. Like a central bank printing money, oversupply destroys the purchasing power of love. But what if you're with a person that has an insecure attachment style? Do they have a mechanism within them that produces internal inflation that seeps out into the relationship? For people who wanted to know, the young lady, I forgot her name. What was her name, Andy? She was talking about creating a personal SWOT analysis. I wish we had her name to give her some credit here, because that was beautiful. To turn that SWOT analysis inwardly. Of course, that's self-inquisition. That is self-confrontation. This is what makes relationships viable. This is what makes relationships sustainable. When a person has had like a real Angel versus Jacob moment with themselves, where they stop running from the Esau of their wounds and kind of have this, knockdown, drag out fight with the higher self, right? In order to conquer the lower self, the fear-based self. Right? This is heavy stuff, man. Attachment as monetary policy. When nervous systems behave like central banks. Your psychological insight. Avoidant partners raise interest rates by withholding contact. Anxious partners flood the market with reassurance. Sometimes Woo! Sometimes now, you got to hold on to your reassurance. Sometimes, especially when, do you know how valuable reassurance is? But in the spiritual realm, that value is subjective, especially if someone is internally wounded to the point that they've become an avoidant. Reassurance is not currency to them. Reassurance is actually poverty. Ooh, 1-800-920-1580. Get to the phone lines. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Your philosophical insight, Pema Chodron, calls this futile attempt, or she calls it a futile attempt to control impermanence. Right? Your clinical insight, Babette Rothschild, documents how trauma dysregulates autonomic arousal, driving scarcity and hoarding behaviors. Your economic insight, this is a live experiment in liquidity management. Too much stimulus or too much austerity collapses trust. We've got callers on the line. I want to get them in here right now. Nazarene X, Atlanta, Georgia. What are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
Most of these businesses are starting off as quote-unquote mattress money to begin with.
Mattress money? What is mattress? Talk to me, sir.
Man, playing that game, don't participate. Not everybody is even qualified to have an account with these foreign entities out here in the first place.
Oh, wow.
I mean, basically, when you're doing things within the sight of an overseer or a banker or FDIC or in America, if your value system is subject to get got, subject to withholding, subject to this, subject to that, the whole thing of sovereignty, you can make that a solve, like a sovereignty. Like y'all could come in and rework your own, I guess, what they call it these days, like a treasure chest, a bunker for the bills. You could bargain, put all your bargaining chips under the pillow. Like, basically, if you're going to be paying together in the first place, you might as well have a plan. A lot of folk will have that mentality up front that's like, I'm going to need something in advance for what's to come.
Down payment.
Word.
Layaway.
Layup for the getaway driver, whatever it is basically having a vision on your own, for one, then coming in contact with someone who is on your same frequency, using the same so-called currency. Again, it's all in that where you make your bed, where you lay your head type of thing. I'm just looking to keep playing off of that, because at the end of the day, like, not to make it too nasty with the mighty lucky, but we could, how you say, we don't need a facility in the first place. The whole of Earth is our domain. So we can have cash in the bushes. I think that's actually wise. I believe that, again, when you look at what is a resource to you, what you're going to rely upon, what you tap into as your source code, like, as long as you don't have to go, like your brother was saying, what's the man's name, Jimmy or something? Like, as long as you know how to fish, you don't need to keep getting fish duckies or whatever the case is. I'm looking to see how I can say it in advance, like.
Well, no, hold that thought, because we got to move forward, but stay right there. Figure out how you want to say it, and when we come forward, you going to say it.
Yo, it's So Williams.
fix the commercial. What up, y'all? Nah, Andy is going. Oh no. No. Come on, man. I teach these kids how to shoot, man. Keep working on that short game. Hey, man, my short game is trash. Man, I had a gang of great approaches, man. Be like, homeboy be like, Zoe. But I will say this. I did have one par. I got one par. It was my first par ever. But, man, I get right up there and homeboy be like, hey, man, if you make this, this is a birdie. If you make this, this is a par. If you make this, this is a bogey. A bogey is good. Next thing you know, if you make this, this is a double bogey. This ain't no triple bogey. Ain't no quadruple bogeys. I hit one, pop, that shit landed, boop, bounced, right there. If you hit this a birdie. That would be great, so. This early in your playing, a birdie is crazy. If you hit this is a par. If you hit this is a bogey. If you hit this is a double bogey. I was just, oh my God. It was like that all day. And why are we struggling with the phone calls? That's what I don't understand. I need some people on here to talk to me tonight. All right, we got Nazarene X. I'm coming back to him. And then we got Sean. Nah, golfing is cool.
See you the difference between black wealth and white wealth explained in less than 2 minutes. In America, we think that we understand race, wealth, and how the two intertwine. We believe in a sharing of wealth among the races that largely does not exist. The truth is, by the data, there are really hardly any blacks that are millionaires in the United States, and whites largely own almost all of the personal wealth in the country. According to demos.org, white America owns 90% of the national wealth, with the top 50% of white families holding 88% of all of America's personal wealth in their bank accounts. Despite having billionaire Oprah Winfrey, of the 14 million black families, less than a few 100,000 of these households are worth more than $1 million, and that number is shrinking. while at the same time over 8.5 million white families are worth more than $1 million. Adding to this, almost all of the 540 American billionaires are white as well. In fact, according to a report by Credit Suisse, to be in the top 5% of black families, you only need to be worth $356,000, including your house. All while just the top few hundred white American families are worth more than all of black America combined. Subscribe to learn more at tonetalks.org.
Man, my niece is hitting me with all types of videos, and as you know, I listen when y'all listen. Look at that. Man, Tone Talks, Black Wealth and White Wealth. That's the name of that video. You guys should look it up. We got a heavy topic tonight. Talking about spousanomics. There's a spiritual economy that doesn't play by the same rules as the societal economy. Right? You could have the partner of your dreams, but still be internally in debt, hiding behind a mask, right? That hides all of that debt. Oh, but is it really hidden? All you have to do is hit a rough patch, a bumpy patch, and we'll see what that spiritual bank account looks like. We got Nazarene X from Atlanta, Georgia on the line. Nazarene, I want you to finish your thought, my friend. What was the point you were making before we came forward?
I'll say this number one line is basically your hump game is your hustling. Your legacy deserves abundance. I encourage folks to go hard or go home. I love you.
Man, we love you too. Guess what you just did, my friend? Atlanta is on the board. If you want to bring your city in the building, all you got to do is call me at 1-800-920-1580. In economics, the term for ultimate satisfaction is utility. Right? We want utility and endless amounts of utility. The struggle with economics on the superficial side, well, not really superficial side, but on the social side is real simple. There's this balance between unlimited wants, right? Our wants are infinite, right? But finite resources. All of our wants can't be satiated. So think about how we walk into an intimate relationship where we want our partner to fulfill us, right? That might be outside of the PPF. That might be outside of the curve, right? Might be impossible to achieve. We've got other callers on the line. I want to get them in here too. Sean from Oakland, California. What are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
Brother, so the thing with the relationship that I think a lot of young, so I'm only going to focus on young people because you and I'm not going to say we're old.
It's over. It's over for us. It's over for us, right?
We're older. and we have our own way of doing things, right? And we see things that maybe they should be doing. But here's what I would give, because I have kids, you have kids, grandkids, all that stuff, is that you tell them, you have to, build relationships. You have to build relationships. And the way you do that is building them in an honest way, right? So it doesn't look like, once you tell one thing that is not true, you're done. You're toast. Because the one thing I told my kids when they're young, when you lie, it makes everything worse.
Right.
When you lie, it makes everything worse. So when you're building relationships in your your world as a young person, why don't you just be yourself, be honest all the time, but whenever, they throw something at you that's not cool, you tell them it's not cool.
Right. I can agree with that. I appreciate you always calling in and supporting the show, brother. Guess what you just did?
Oakland, baby, and we're going to keep moving forward.
Yes, sir. Sean from Oakland, California, town business in the house. In economics, there's a concept called the opportunity cost. What about the opportunity cost associated with staying? Calculating the hidden price of a scarcity loop. Your psychological insight here, years spent in chronic threat, blunt creativity, and it shrinks cognitive bandwidth. If you're just in this chronic stress or survival mode when you're in a relationship, right? Your philosophical insight here, Kierkegaard's sickness unto death, describes the despair of a life deferred. Are you deferring your life because you're safe? That's interesting. Your psychological insight. Prolonged relational stress predicts depression and immune dysfunction. And then your economic insight. Non-ergodic risk means the time you lose in one relationship can never be averaged away by future gains. So many of us allow fear to choose the partner, to choose the situation, when it might be somewhere else. But that is the opportunity cost that fear puts in front of you. You want to be secure, you want to be safe, you want to have everything you think you need in terms of what society has to offer. Do you know it's very frightening for a person who is unhealed, especially if they have any avoidant tendencies, to really, truly accept love? So the opportunity cost is, I won't experience love. I'll go where the security is. And it's a type of security that I wish to control. Listen, who am I talking to? When we come forward, the voice of reason shall complete this cookery. Does that make sense? Y'all awfully quiet tonight. I need callers. I have no more callers. All right, I'm back. I need those calls. I need those calls. Who's gonna call in? All right, I'll do a ratchet show tomorrow. Maybe this is too highbrow. Maybe I'll do an astrology show. Man, you want me to bring on an astrologist? Then the phone lines will be jam-packed. I see you. My screen is right there. I see you. Here we go.
Number one cause of divorce, money. The other three, if you can be in agreement on them, religion, kids, whether to have them and how to treat them, and how to deal with crazy people in your extended family. Because all of these things are representative of your values and what your beliefs are. So when you can agree on your money, what you've ended up agreeing on is your dreams, your fears, your visions. You're in agreement, you're in alignment on those. Not only what they are, but how we're going to go after them. And now you've got real harmony, and you've got a high probability of building wealth. That's the odd part of it. That's the infinity loop, how it comes back in on itself.
Wait, who was that?
Financial guy, I forgot that.
I can we
Lewis Howes.
Lewis Howes, can we hear that one more time? That was powerful. He came in cooking. The voice of reason, man. KBLA, you already know what it is. We're in here on fire with this powerful topic called spousanomics. Who is that guy?
Number one cause of divorce, money. The other three, if you can be in agreement on them, religion, kids, whether to have them and how to treat them, and how to deal with crazy people in your extended family. Because all of these things are representative of your values and what your beliefs are. So when you can agree on your money, what you've ended up agreeing on is your dreams, your fears, your visions. You're in agreement, you're in alignment on those. Not only what they are, but how we're going to go after them. And now you've got real harmony, and you've got a high probability of building wealth. That's the odd part of it. That's the infinity loop, how it comes back in on itself.
Man, that was fire, man. Lewis Howes and Dave Ramsey. What psycho-spiritual economy are you bringing into your relationship? Right? And is it in shambles? Are you looking for an intimate bailout? You know, some type of subsidy from your partner. Quantum love versus spreadsheet love. Measuring destroys the miracle. Your psychological insight, the very act of tracking affection, collapses spontaneity. Right? Your philosophical insight, Heisenberg's uncertainty principle, mirrors Krishnamurti's choiceless awareness. Your clinical insight, mindfulness research shows that non-judgmental presence lowers stress and increases empathy. This is the type of economy we need in our relationships. We think money will answer everything. It won't. Your economic insight, markets need measurements, right? But conscious relationships thrive only when measurement stops. You can't even be a human without being measured. Make a mistake as a man or a woman, and that mistake sticks in your partner's head and serves as a reason for lowering your overall value in their mind. They'll say you're forgiven, but those are just words. The map is not the territory. We got callers on the line. Let's get them in here. Attila, Houston, Texas. What are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes. What up, niece?
Okay. So I was thinking about what you said earlier. I believe you were talking about like anxious or dismissive, and kind of the idea of like them not or wanting to kind of trade money for love and things like that. And something that kind of came to me is if you're in a state where you have yet to realize like the love for yourself, then you might not really believe in the existence of love. So it makes sense why they would go for something that's more tangible. It's kind of like how people treat God, in my opinion.
Talk about it.
How they treat their relationship with God. I think a lot of us are good with believing in God as long as things are going well, and as long as you can actually see things in your reality, right, out picturing the way you want it to work. Things are going in the flow and in the fashion that you want it to work. Similar to our relationships, it's not until you have that bump in the road or you get triggered, then you start to doubt. So I think in regards to like our relationship with money, with God, really all of it, each other, you know what I mean? It's not until you have a problem and your faith is tested, then you get to see, like, I think where somebody's head really is.
yeah, that's all I wanted to say.
You know what we needed for that little piece right there? Only God can do it. Do it. And I'm just saying, when it's good, we be dancing and prancing, and when it's good. But when it's...
I mean, it's real easy to, like, praise and be real happy. And, again, think about the way you treat your partner when your money is up, right? What does your treatment of your partner look like? And I'm going to be honest, like, I'm guilty of this. Like, when my money is down, my treatment of myself is not too good either. All of a sudden, I'm speaking negatively, right? And it really, all that does is just, like, beget more and more trauma and more lack, right? And I think we do the same thing with just one another. And so, you know, it's just, I think it sucks because we're in such a weird place right now economically as a country. So it makes sense why our relationships will falter. But to me, I'm like, well, in that case, that's a sign. Move towards things that are maybe a little bit more spiritual, more ethereal. Focus on the being of your relationship and not the doing. Talking about bringing things to the table. There is no table. It doesn't exist.
The table is gone? What happened to the table? Everybody talk about what they bring to the table. Attila, now you know that. People be like, this is what I bring to the table, and it's high value.
Because, again, those are all tangible things. Bringing things to the table is just another extension of doing. We would all rather be Martha than Mary.
Wow. Oh, well, I got questions for you. You know that, right?
Okay.
I'm just... Yeah. I got questions. So you know how this is going to go. Listen, when we come forward, right, we're going to come back and we're going to hit Attila with some heavy questions. Because Attila, you know, Attila's a little bit, this is our home run derby. I'm going to throw her some softball pitches and we going to see how she handles those questions when we come forward. More from the VOR. Ooh, I got a question. Are you ready for these questions? Hey man, I don't like the fact. I'm just gonna keep it a buck. I don't like the fact that y'all just be watching. I don't like it. I don't. I get to say that, right? I get to feel that way. Y'all just be watching in the background, lurking, not saying nothing, not calling in. It's like a damn ghost town. I want to maintain my #1 status. #1 caller show. #1 call-in show, The Voice of Reason. I want to maintain that. I agree. Let's get active. Damn it.
Let's preserve black land stories before they're lost forever. I want to personally invite you to be a part of something historic. As journalists in residence,
hey, I got a question for your ass, Attila. Woo!
George Fathery, the man who helped make history by delivering justice to the Bruce family in Manhattan Beach, securing the first known return of land unjustly taken from black owners by a local government. That victory was monumental, but it was just the beginning. For generations, black families have acquired land through grit, faith, and determination, only to lose it through violence, legal loopholes, forced sales, and systematic racism. What's been taken...
Hey, fussing is a terrible word. Truemonger. I don't like it. Fussing is the worst word a man could say about another man. Why you over there fussing? Oh, I know the Chargers game is on. Chargers and Raiders. And it's a gang of Raiders fans wilding out right now. Because the Raiders are going to be good.
story belongs in this archive. Your truth matters not just to your family, but to our collective future. Visit blacklandloss.org today. Fill out our simple intake form and add your voice to the National Archive of Remembrance.
Nah, I would be more like,
Let's make these stories live on, not in whispers, but on the record. With a KBLA
yeah, I could be a middle school teacher for sure.
And as always, we welcome your feedback.
We have a world that is telling us what to value and what a high-value man or a high-value woman looks like. And we need to get back in touch with what high value is to us. What's the kind of love that is in line with what I value, with what I care about? Because so many people, the lists that people do have, whether they're literal lists or they're just in their mind, is that so much of what's on that list is about ego. It's not about what makes us happy.
Who was that? Hey, Matthew Hussey? Who was that other dude? Crease or Cease? They be cooking. You're listening to the VOR. You already know what it is. We got a powerful concept going right now, a topic about intimate relationships and your spousanomics. There's literally a book called Spousanomics, which inspired me to do this topic. Matthew Hussey. Hey, he's always on fire. Love his work. Go look him up. And now my niece is on the phone, and what's interesting about this is our home run derby section where I just ask her questions. She's an educator. She's a very intelligent young woman. And she's my secret weapon for a lot of these topics, man. Like, she be in the background putting that old country stank on it, and it's fire. I love it. So I love questioning her. And I have questions set up. This gonna be heavy. Attila, are you ready?
You know it, let's go.
The confidence, though. It was kind of like, Terrence Crawford confidence. You see that? Like,
I'm gonna try my best, sis.
yeah. All right. Here we go. Which cheap signals seduced you the last time? And what costly signal do you require before granting premium access now? Seduced you the last time. What was it?
External confidence in the gift of gab.
So a smooth talker. Yeah. And he has internal confidence? Did we lose her? Oh, no. Jay, Andy said you couldn't handle the smoke, so you dropped the line. That's what Andy said. Andy out here. Listen, I got questions. Listen, just call back in. And there she is. We got her back. They said she dipped. Oh, the voice of reason is on fire. I'm gonna tell you right now, my niece ain't scared. My niece is not scared. Okay.
I'm not scared. I hear you talking mess. I am not scared. What had happened was I got a new phone and my face hit it. My bad. Okay, so what was it? You said the cheap.
I'm gonna ask the question again. Which cheap signals seduced you the last time, and what costly signal do you require now before granting premium access?
So the first one, I think I said the gift of gab, right? I guess you could call it full confidence, really. And costly, I mean, I feel like authenticity is the biggest one for me. And that's very costly because I'm going to show up like me. And I realize that for some, that can be off-putting. So the reason why I would say that it's costly is because it's really honestly costing me. I know that there's a chance that I might be spending time with a person who's just like, I don't know if I can do this. They might be fronting and faking like they can and then be like, I don't know about this. She a little much. She a little much. They don't want to tell me, but like, you get what I'm saying.
I get it. All right, I got more. What opportunity cost do you pay weekly? Skills unfunded, networks unexplored, health deferred by maintaining toxic connections with folk. I got questions. Yeah, let me do it again. What opportunity cost do you pay weekly? Skills unfunded, networks unexplored, health deferred by maintaining toxic connections or bonds.
Okay. I hope I'm understanding the question. I mean, I would say in terms of opportunity cost, really, I would just say like time with myself. Like when, I forgot the lady's name, the last lovely lady you had on, she was a spiritual lady.
Precious.
And she told me, yes, Precious, and she was saying that she was talking about presence and telling me essentially that I needed to really just like sit with myself and the answers would come. She's 100% right. And let me just say this because for me, I get a lot of ideas and understandings through dreams and in the time that I sleep. And that shouldn't be the only time that I'm having revelations or getting understanding. You feel what I'm saying? So I feel like the biggest opportunity cost for me comes really at the expense of the time that I have with myself.
Right. And that's a heavy opportunity cost, because all opportunity cost means is in order for me to do this thing, I got to give up these things. Right. So if you look at somebody, like if we're looking at this question and we're looking at someone who's in a toxic relationship, right? In order to maintain that toxic relationship, the opportunity cost for them might be their own dreams, right? Unexplored, right? Their own skills unfunded, their networks unexplored, and then even their health deferred. And for many people, they don't look at it in terms of, you know, like this spiritual economic kind of framing I'm using tonight. Like, wow, I could be anywhere else in the world doing something else for myself that uplifts my spirit, rather than, you know, staying addicted and locked into this space. Have you ever had moments where, that's what I was about to ask, have you ever had moments where you kind of deferred because you were kind of locked in a negative cycle?
100%. 100%. I think the most recent one was me realizing that my job, I have a negative cycle with employment, with jobs. Not to say, I'm not saying I can't keep a job. I always have a job. You know this.
You Jamaican.
I think that's the thing. I stay, basically, but I mean, I'm staying busy, but like I said, at the expense of the time that I really should be being present with myself. And it's not to say that I don't want to work, but I think the question becomes, is the work effective? And is it adding to my spiritual quotient, or is it taking away from it? And that's something that I've had to really, like, I think, come to terms with, because I like money. I like money, but I also really like, I like the idea of stability. So that's why I feel like this topic is on point, because I think, again, the question is stability at what cost? But then what type of stability are we talking about? Like, there's no point in me having a
financial stability if my mind is all over the place. If my spirit is, in a state of unrest. Like, you know what I mean? I hope that makes sense.
No. I totally get it. Again, I got questions. Are you ready?
Yes.
When volatility arises, how do you adjust your interest rates, your boundaries, without revenge?
Boundaries without revenge. I mean,
When volatility,
my interest rates are gonna go up. But the more volatile it is, the higher my interest rate, the higher the cost of access, right? Because at this point now I'm having to, like you said, put up a boundary, but also I might be having to arm myself in the process. So if I'm having to arm myself, put up a boundary, essentially go into this hyper-aware or hyper-arousal type of state, then yes, the price is going up.
Let me ask you, are you ready? My niece is ready for this work, man.
Ready for whatever. Well, I've been in the dojo training, but the other side of this though too, y'all gotta understand, like every day I'm writing, y'all. Every day I'm writing, reflecting, like trying to talk about the stuff. I wish I had more people to talk about this with, because to be honest, this level of truth, it's really hard for people to confront, and I think it's a gift that I think a lot of people have trouble receiving. But I'm sorry, go.
Why do you think that?
Because it's painful. It's painful. Like, I had a dream the other night where I literally was like crying and upset in the dream. And you know how that is when you have dreams that move you emotionally. Sometimes you wake up in that state, right? So
right.
I say all that to say, like, the knowledge and things that you're giving to people is them confronting that state in their waking life. Like, that's a whole other story. You know what I mean?
This deep.
That's like narc injury level, content. I love it.
I got questions. When an avoidant partner strategically withholds contact to inflate their perceived value, how does that artificial scarcity mimic a central bank engineering deflation, driving the anxious partner to buy attention at even higher emotional prices?
I mean, you basically answered the question in the question, right? Like, if you are looking to access something and I'm withholding access to it, that only increases, like you said, the perception that it is more valuable. Just like that's how we see education, right? Education, you pay $300 to go to school. Now it's like what? 30 a year, 30K a year, something crazy like that.
Right.
The more you, so the more that you increase the cost of something, the more valuable in certain people's minds. I'm not gonna say everyone,
right.
But the way the majority of us see it is that, oh, this thing must be valuable. That's why we have sayings like you get what you pay for. So for an avoidant, right, if they're in a place where they feel offended or feel like you have, and I'm saying they, as if I'm not an avoidant. I'm working on it. But
that's why I'm asking you these questions.
If you're in a place where, like, you feel like you've been offended, or, like, there's a certain place where you start up a deactivation strategy, you start pulling away, or whatever the case may be, I would say unconsciously, the idea is to start the chase. Right? And the only way I can do that is by making you think that you're going to lose something valuable.
Okay, this is getting real good. If anxious pursuit, somebody with an anxious preoccupied attachment style, if anxious pursuit floods the market with unlimited supply of reassurance, does every extra text function like quantitative easing, printing emotional currency until it collapses in worth?
I mean, it already collapsed in worth when you started doing that. Once you start activating those anxious, I don't know what the word would be, anxious habits, right? You basically have already tanked your currency because you even started in the first place.
Wow.
Because truth be told, like, you can't, giving someone more of what they don't value does not increase your value.
Wow. Uh, and listen, we had to put it in this metaphor because a lot of people will hear the anxious, preoccupied talk or the attachment theory talk and not really get it and not really understand. Of course, in order to understand your own attachment style, whether it be secure, anxious, preoccupied, dismissive, avoidant, or fearful / disorganized, you have to go to therapy and have someone sit down and kind of walk you through the process of where you are. But if you have done that and you hear it in this, this economy, this economic framing, it kind of makes a little bit more sense. You're devaluing the meaning behind your affection by giving it to someone who doesn't value it.
Exactly. I mean, if I don't like bananas and you keep handing me bananas, I'm eventually going to get upset at you. That's when that disparity is getting ready to happen. Because it's like, I already told you I don't want bananas, but why you keep giving me more of it? Like, think about it this way. I would even go as far as to say the avoidant is allergic to the affection of the anxious partner. So you really are actually like making them go into anaphylactic shock by continuously giving them something that they are allergic to, in a sense. And
Love
I think
it.
part of that is because, again, they perceive love as an enemy, as a irritant.
Don't go nowhere. Stay right there. When we come forward, back to Houston, Texas, man, this is good. Yo, this is fire. Niece, this is fire. We're going to get another caller on. Let's go. Should I? The Dollar Tree guy, Patty's, is disrespectful and diabolical. What the fuck? Who's horrible? What happened? Uh-huh. What up? Glad you was able to join us. Hey, man. Whatever chemical cheese is on this motherfucker is addicting. We can tell, homie. Good thing is, I don't eat these every day. Andy, what you cooking?
Salad.
My man got a whole thing of Morton salt. Andy, hey man, I was at the gym today. Is you nuts? The gym was nuts today. I'm sorry. The gym was nuts. We not doing no regular shit. This ain't. What is that? What is that called? Planet Fitness. This ain't Planet Fitness, dog. It's a whole nother struggle. This ain't LA Fitness. This ain't Equinox.
The speaker has said that going to an office every day from 9 to 5 is an intolerable imprisonment. But in any society, of all kinds of jobs have to be done. Is case teaching, therefore, only for the few. Should I read it again? The speaker has said that human society is so constructed throughout the world that most people are occupied with jobs, pleasant or unpleasant, from 9 to 5 every day of their life. And he said also that is intolerable imprisonment. I don't know how you feel about it. Probably you like being in prison. Probably you like your jobs from 9 o'clock to 5 o'clock, rushing back and all the rest of it. What should we do? To the speaker, you wouldn't tolerate it for a single minute. For the speaker, I'd rather do something which would be pleasant, helpful, and necessary to earn enough money and so on.
Hey, Krishnamurti is basically saying the opportunity cost of him not helping people is too high for him to be at work. That's what he said. He called going to work a prison. I only use that as an example of opportunity cost. When you're in a toxic relationship, I want everybody who's listening to this show tonight to journal about the opportunity cost for you to stay in the toxic relationship. What did it cost you in terms of time? And how would you have spent that time? Right? Or maybe you're currently in a toxic relationship. I want you to calculate the opportunity cost. What is it costing you to stay? Very heavy stuff, right? We still got callers on the line. My niece is on, and I want to ask her a couple of questions that she herself crafted. Question number 3 here, agree or disagree? A SWOT analysis of your relationship is pretty much useless if you're unable to accurately assess yourself. True or false for you, and why did you write this? And why is it important? Why should we know about this SWOT analysis?
So first of all, I definitely agree that if you're doing a SWOT analysis on your relationship, it's pointless if you don't know how you're showing up. So the reason why I wrote that is more so to point out why your ability to, like I said, assess yourself in an accurate manner is important when it comes to you assessing the relationship as a whole. I think we like to assess our partners. A lot of times that's where the nagging comes in. You're not doing this, you don't do this, you get what I'm saying. Or even the chase, right? The whole idea of the runner-chaser dynamic, right? Doing the SWOT analysis on yourself would prevent that. Because if I see, like, okay, I'm doing a little bit too much here, what is this anxiety? Like, where is it coming from, right? Like, why am I behaving in this way? How are they responding, right? Especially when you get to, like, the threats part. So, the threats, what are the threats that I'm posing to myself? So that, to me, for example, would answer the question about the sunken fallacy, the cost, the benefits, that sort of thing.
I love it. You know what, niece? I'm so proud of your growth and maturation. You a superhero now. I love it. Come on. Can we?
I'm a superhero, but I'm just normal. It's a lot. You know this already. Every day.
I love it.
Something.
I love it. Guess what you just did, niece? Houston, Texas is on the board. More cities to come. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. LS, Hawthorne, California. Come on, Hawthorne. Hey, what up? What are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
So I definitely have to ask a question and back up because I came in late, but I tried to scroll back and listen. So my thing is, how is a person's kindness or affection ever become devalued just because they have an endless supply to give their person who doesn't want it?
So look at it
Aren't they
biblically.
just with the wrong person?
Ah, okay.
So,
Could be.
like, how can kindness and affection from a person that you are in a relationship with be devalued? Like, I don't understand that.
So let me give you just a little bit of clarity. If you are coming from a healed space, there is no ledger, right? There is no receipt if you're coming from a healed space. If you're giving from a healed space, you're giving because you have it to give, and whatever you give does not diminish you, right?
Right.
That's where you give. Then nothing is lost in that exchange. But when you're in this dynamic, attachment style dynamic, especially the insecure attachment style dynamic between the push and pull of the anxious preoccupied and the avoidant, the anxious preoccupied might be giving to a person who sees that reassurance, who sees that love, that kindness, that caring. They may see it as intimate inflation. Like, oh, they're devaluing it because, again, they came from a childhood environment where really emotionally they were shut down, right? So they went inside, and once they went inside, they learned or developed a way to self-soothe. They elevated their independence, that I could do it myself. I'm not, and now as an adult, anybody who tries to pour love in, love is somewhat of an attack. Reassurance isn't a, do you see what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying. So
Yes.
it becomes devalued because it's too much for the other individual.
They feel claustrophobic. They feel smothered, overwhelmed. Do you see?
Okay.
That makes sense?
I do see now. Yes, it makes a lot of sense now. So,
Come on, LS. Come on. I'm with you. You got something else?
No, because this is naturally so a person that is anxious, preoccupied, and is normally overdoing it, I guess, in the relationship with they normally attract those that are avoidant or dismissive.
Yes. Well, dismissive avoidant is one, and then you have fearful i.e. disorganized, and that's like a combination of anxious and the dismissive avoidant.
So, but the anxious preoccupied is the one that normally attracts everyone.
Well, no, they attract they attract each other now. So you have the anxious preoccupied and the avoidant relational trap, like they're drawn to each other. Do you see?
I see.
They're drawn to each other. And I think they're drawn to each other to kind of expose each other to what needs to be worked on, to what needs to be dealt with. Yeah.
So that's a good thing. In a sense,
it's a good thing after it stops hurting. It's good after it stops hurting, and then you can be like, oh, that's what that was for. Okay, I'm going to stop doing that.
The matter of the relationship is to show you yourself and what you need to work on, but a lot of times, people will leave once a person reveals this thing about themselves that they weren't expecting in the relationship. And very rarely do they work through it. But it seems like these people that are attracted to each other, that have these adverse things, that show what they need to work on, should stay together and come to their like higher self, and then it'll be wonderful, right? Like
maybe.
won't that be better?
I don't know.
But if you're both doing self-work, then what is like? Okay, so
Well, that is actually the goal.
right. So
But let me explain it really quickly. So, the whole self-work piece is just for you, right? And hopefully, if you're doing your self-work and your partner is doing this self-work, and you guys decide to stay together, you guys might be a little bit more cognizant of each other's boundaries. You might be a little bit more forgiving, kind, extending grace to one another. Because, again, this self-work is about self-acceptance. Now, let me take it even further.
okay.
This is hard for a lot of people with the self-acceptance piece. But if I'm learning to accept myself, I'm also learning how to accept my partner as they are. The best relationships are those with two human beings who recognize that they're not perfect and that they're human. It's so difficult to be with a human being. A human being is flawed, messy. A human being will hurt your feelings at any turn if they have a bad day. But the person who learns how to consciously relate is aware of this inherent hiccup, flaw, not really a flaw, but just the way humans are made, the part of the human condition. You see, many of us are so broken, we're looking at the partner as a type of resource that will make sure that we never have to pay too much attention to our wounds anymore. That person is going to show up, that person is going to do right, the wounds are safe, I'm safe, and I get to move on without actually looking inward.
Now, what happens if you are with a person who is like that, but they still like are encouraging you to do your self-work, but they're not leaving you even if you don't?
What? Listen, you better get away from that person. What in the hell? You can't.
Like, this is, I accept you the way that you are. If you would like to step into the place where you have to do some extra working on yourself, that is a wonderful thing, but it doesn't mean that I'm going to discard you.
That's
because
true.
You haven't arrived to your higher self.
That's true. I love it. I love it. Hey, LS, guess what you just did?
Hawthorne in the building.
Hawthorne, California is in the building when we come forward. Dallas, Texas, and the Reverend is waiting in the wings. Hey, I love LS. Thank you for that call. What up, Eddie? Big Eddie, what up, pimp? I don't know why I always call you Eddie when you're on here. Maybe it's because that's your YouTube handle? Because when I see you in person, I never call you Eddie. The lounge name is different as comedy. I ain't even gonna lie. That goddamn machine-made glacier water, I don't know if it takes water out of the air. I don't know. But this damn water, this ain't water. This is water. Somebody said DBA side of the game. The DBA side of the game is crazy. Thank you, Zoe. I feel you don't stay Wait, I feel you don't stay off. They aren't doing the work. But, I still be like, they will get there. They might get there. Shit. They might get there. I don't know. I don't know. Man, I talked to my oldest son's high school coach yesterday. High quality H2O. There's nothing wrong. I'm concerned because there's nothing wrong. Hey, that was one of the funniest videos of all time. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, the voice of reason and his co-host. Man, Jill Scott, man. She reminds me of a warm bowl of cream of wheat, just cinnamon and butter, nutmeg. Whew. I love me some Jill Scott, man. You say, why would you say she reminds you of a bowl of cream of wheat? Because cream of wheat, one of them comfort foods. Cream of rice. I ain't never heard of no cream of rice. What in the world? Cream of wheat, man. Listen, the voice of reason. I got to get my final caller in here right now. This is good right now. Reverend L, Dallas, Texas. Man, what are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
What's up, Brother Rowe?
Yes, sir.
So I'm keep this real short and sweet. I'm a comment on I'm making a segue comment on what Optima was talking about, and with the SWOT analysis. I think usually people don't address that SWOT analysis until it's too late for most people. They only do that when they feel like they're losing that person or they're losing their situation. Then now, let me go ahead and let me do some work on myself. Let me check myself. Let me do these type of things. When you should have been doing that in the front end. Don't do it because you're about to lose this person. So really, you're not doing it for yourself. You're doing it for that other person, and it's still probably not going to work out in the end. And that person needs to know that you're not doing it for yourself. You're doing it for me.
Wow. And listen, it never works when you do it for them.
Never.
How about that? Any self-improvement, anything meaningful in your life that you're trying to do, it never works when it's for them.
It's a Band-Aid. It's a Band-Aid.
Yeah. I love it, brother. Guess what you just did?
About Dallas, Texas, Bill, I got one more thing I want to drop if I got a second to do this.
You got a second to do it.
Say, last thing, ladies, please, this is a message to the ladies, please stop giving men credit on potential and ambition, because men will nickel and dime you to death, and you take that to the bank with hope, thinking that man's going to be a good spouse, and you're setting yourself up.
I love it. Reverend L from Dallas, Texas. We love it. We love it when they come with the fire. In the stock exchange of intimacy, lovers behave like irrational traders running a shadow economy beneath their own awareness. We tell ourselves that love transcends calculation, yet every glance, delay, and sigh functions like a market signal, pricing vulnerability, discounting kindness, and arbitrating attention. We talked about it today. I started the conversation. It's really up to you to finish it. The voice of reason got 3 more shows like this for the rest of the week. Let's get it. Great show tonight. Appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for the love. Thank y'all for the love. Thank y'all.